What's up guys, Sacred Survival here. Welcome back to another Bleach Rebirth of Souls video. It's character trailer day, and today we have Mayuri Kurotsuchi. Not a character I was expecting, although now I see what they're doing. They're going with the star of that week's Bleach 1000 Year Blood War Arc episode. So I'm really excited to get into this trailer, and if they are following that, like the star of the episode of the week of that week's episode of 1000 Year Blood War Arc, then we should expect next week to be Shunsui's. So I'm really excited for that. We have already Byakuya, one of my favorite characters, and we have Shunsui now potentially. That's going to be in the roster. So not to dismiss Mayuri, but I'm really excited to see who next week's character trailer is. But Mayuri's a fan favorite of mine as well, especially in the 1000 Year Blood War arc. But I've always liked him. You know, the mad scientist gone crazy. He's always kind of very off the rails with his squad mates, just willing to blow him up. His fight against Uryu was very intense for the Soul Society arc. I did not think that Bleach was going to go to those depths when I was reading it and watching it for the first time, but watching freaking hole get blown through Mayuri's chest, just a whole body, and his Bankai. He's just one of the most disturbing, interesting, unique characters, not only in Bleach, but I just think in manga and anime in general. So I'm really excited to get into this trailer. So if you guys like the video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. I'm going to be playing a lot of Bleach Rebirth of Souls, and I'm going to be covering it a lot leading up to the release here. I also stream over on Twitch if you guys want to follow me over there as well. But with that out of the way, let's just get right into the trailer here. Let's go. We got Mayuri Kurotsuchi. Let's see. How is his scientificness going to go into a fighting game? You know, is he going to perform experiments on somebody like mid fight? Takes a sample of him home afterwards. Ashisogi Jizo is like such a unique weapon too. I love people that modify their weapons too. Oh, he's got a poison gauge. Okay, that makes sense. We'll go back and read it. We're watching just full time. We're watching it in full this time. Toxic bubbles. Okay. Oh, he summons Nemu. Okay, Nemu's not going to be a playable character then. Oh, Nemu's an assist. He's got Nemu on this. Yeah, Bankai time. It always is not. It's just in the background too. Okay. Its size is definitely shrunken down. It's definitely. Oh, and then Nemu's there too. Oh, nice. Its size is definitely shrunken down though. I mean, that makes sense. But I'm pretty sure in Bleach, it's like gargantuan. It's like bigger than buildings. It spreads poison over like 180 like meter radius or something like that. So they definitely shrunk it down, but it makes sense for that. Man, the throwback to his Soul Society arc fit is really jarring to me now. I didn't realize how different that was going to be. It's been so long since I've seen this version of him, obviously. I'm just so used to him in the sunsuit now if you're watching the anime. So let's go back and pause this time and break down his character. So he's got a poison gauge that builds up, and he seems like he's going to be a pretty gimmicky type character. Let's see if I'm right. Captain of Squad 12, he is a very proud warrior who possesses an insatiable, inquisitive mind. Yeah, that's true. He uses poison to wear down his enemies and control their movement across the battlefield. Okay. So, if anything, I kind of expected them to go with, like, paralysis, because that's what Ashisogi Jizo does, just as, like, a base stabbing you. But poison makes a lot of sense for a fighting game, I think.
Would you keep silent?
Would you keep... I love his voice, too. Bleach has so many iconic voices. All right, he has a poison gauge. When some skills hit, poison gauge accumulates and decreases over time. The gauge will be consumed when attacking with Mayuri Zanpakuto and gives additional damage. Okay, so it's really not even a... It's not even like a poison thing. It just gives his Zanpakuto more damage. So, and it doesn't even... the way that I'm reading this here, it doesn't even have to be full. it just accumulates, and then as you attack, you kind of use this. So it's kind of just like a passive damage buff. When you use certain skills, the poison gauge accumulates, and then it decreases if you're not using skills. And then when you attack, when this is even partially full, you're just doing more damage passively. Okay. But you probably have to intentionally try to fill it. Yeah, with toxic bubbles here. Toxic bubbles. Mayuri releases slow-moving toxic bubbles that causes accumulating poison damage when they hit an opponent. If the signature move button is pressed before the toxic bubble hits the opponent, the bubble explodes and spreads poison mist over the wide area. Okay. So, causes accumulating poison damage when they hit. So this does put poison on there. So this does poison the enemy, but I'm also guessing this builds up that poison meter. So you're going to be poisoning them, so they're taking damage over time, I assume. And then your attacks are also going to be doing more damage. Very interesting here. Okay, that's a lot of damage already. And then if you press the signature move button again before the bubble hits, then it just explodes, and you get to kind of cover the area of poison mist. Does it show both of these? Okay, that's a pretty good area of effect. So this is it hitting here. I'm actually going to slow this down because we are going to start more breaking down these character gameplays here. I'm going to mute it for a second just so you don't hear this slow-mo. So this right here, that was him detonating it. You have this right here where it hits Uryu, and that'll do some poison. You can see right here he's poisoned, actually. He's got the purple aura on him. And then right here he detonates it. And that's a pretty big area of effect, honestly. I wonder if, like, you can destroy it with a projectile, like Uryu can, like, shoot it or something. That would be interesting, because I don't know how you would target that other than Uryu, or other than Mayuri. But that would be interesting if, like, the opponent can pop it prematurely or something so that it doesn't hit him. Okay, that's interesting. You got poison, boy. You got poison. There's the poison character. We have Spiritual Pressure Move 2. Move, you idiots! Okay, he definitely says that a couple times. Nemu charges forward and restrains the opponent, then causes damage with a powerful kick. The opponent can still guard when restrained, but the guard gauge depletion of the kick is very high. Okay. So they either have to eat the shield damage and then come out of that barely being able to block again, or they have to eat the kick. So how does this work on block, though? That's been my question for a lot of these moves, is that they always show them hitting, you know? I wonder how a lot of these things will work on block. So I'm guessing, because, like, does Nemu have to hit them and then restrain them? Like, you know, is the restrain a grab? I guess that's what I'm asking. Because, like, if Nemu tries to restrain them and they're blocking, does it just cancel the whole spiritual pressure move? Or is the restrain like a grab, so even if they're blocking? But I guess that wouldn't really make sense, that they can block while being restrained. So I'm guessing the restraint does work while they're blocking, but then you just have to absorb the kick, which is going to be very tough on your shield gauge. Okay, so it's like, you better not be blocking, but then if you're not blocking, you have to eat the damage from it. Okay, nice. Alright, opponents will accumulate poison even when attacks do not hit. The speed of poison accumulation will be increased over time. Okay, we're getting some translation stuff. So the speed of poison accumulation will be increased over time. So what does that mean? Speed of poison accumulation be increased over time. So is that on them? Maybe I'm misunderstanding his poison gauge. So this poison gauge here isn't for him. Is that what I'm understanding now? Some skills hit poison gauge accumulates and decreases over time. The gauge will be consumed when attacking Mayuri Zanpakuto. Attacking with Mayuri Zanpakuto gives additional damage. So this is for him. So I guess also them being hit with poison is also a meter that needs to be filled. Like they're not just taking poison damage immediately. They have to, you know, be hit with enough poison. Because I guess that, like, for me, it doesn't make a lot of sense for poison meter to build up on you if you're the one poisoning somebody else. So I guess this meter fills up for you, but it's for the other enemy. I think that's what that is. So as you hit the enemy with either the toxic bubble or just you know, I think he probably has another skill other than toxic bubbles that can do that, and his Bankai, his awakening. But when this fills up, then the enemy is poisoned. Okay, gotcha. That's what it is. So when this fills, so as long as you have this, it'll poison the enemy. I guess I'm still a little bit confused on this. So does this have to fill up all the way for the enemy to be poisoned? Because it says the gauge will be consumed when attacking with Mayuri Zanpakuto and gives additional damage. So there's no mention that it has to be filled or anything. It's just while you have any amount of this gauge, it'll be consumed when attacking with a Zanpakuto. So maybe there's some invisible other meter that has to be filled up. See, this is what, like, with the translation stuff, like, we're really not going to fully understand until we get our hands on the game. Opponents will accumulate poison even when attacks do not hit. The speed of poison accumulation will be increased over time. So this is talking about them accumulating poison. Whereas this, the poison gauge here, so this poison gauge accumulates and decreases over time. The gauge will be consumed when attacking with Mayuri Zanpakuto and gives additional damage. So I guess this is just a meter for the enemy, but it fills up while you're attacking. It decreases when you're not attacking. Whenever they have a little bit of it on them, your moves will be doing more damage. Your Zanpakuto will be doing more damage. And then with in his Bankai, it seems like they don't even have to hit. Just like attacking and whiffing, I guess we'll like chuck some poison on him. So there's going to be some damage over time here, some unavoidable damage. And especially with that Nemu ability, you will not be wanting to block a whole lot against Mayuri. Okay, that's really interesting. I'm surprised they didn't give him something with like his Go-Go Gadget Extendo arm that he used not only in the Soul Society arc, but also in last week's episode of the 1,000 Year Blood War arc. Man was like Spider-Man fighting Pernida. So yeah, that's interesting. Maybe, and of course they don't go over everything in these too. Like this is Spiritual Pressure move 2. We don't see what number 1 is. So really, we only get a glimpse. These are like such teases at what the character will be able to do. So, but we have a poison character, damage over time, the mad scientist. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. If you liked the video, if you enjoyed my attempts at a breakdown, this one was a little confusing, sorry. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like. Let's try to hit 10 likes again. Thank you guys so much for the support on the last video, hitting 10 likes as well. I appreciate every single one of you that chose to click on my video. Thank you for watching yet again, and have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.